All right, hi everybody. In this video today, I want to talk to you a little bit about reserve design methods and specifically gap analysis and how we use this in GIS. So first, you probably heard about GIS already at some point, which stands for Geographical Information System, and it has a wide variety of uses, but in ecology and conservation biology, it allows scientists to compile and analyze huge sets of data with many variables such as topography, weather patterns, population sizes of plants and animals, and so forth to gain an understanding of a research topic related to some area of land. Now, gap analysis then is using GIS to ask basically where the gaps are. And that can include such things as how much land is already being protected in a particular area, what species and habitats are being protected in that area, and how much land and species and habitat are maybe outside the protected areas so that one can make good decisions about what to do moving forward. And it allows you to address the question, where are the gaps and where should we focus our efforts and our finances and that sort of thing moving forward. So this is a map produced by a professional company called the San Gabriel Mountains Forever using GIS. And the map shows the San Gabriel Mountains, national monuments. And this, by the way, is one of my favorite local spots to hike and bird watch and go fishing and camping and all that. And it's super local. It's right up Highway 39 up Azusa Canyon. And it consists of places like the East Fork and West Fork and Crystal Lake. And it's very, very close to Mount San Antonio College. My guess it's maybe on a good day, a 30 or 40 minute drive to the start of it. And then there's lots of places you can access from there. So on this map, you can see there are designated wilderness areas that are inside the monument and outside the monument. So in brown here, for example, you can see we have wilderness area inside the monument and also wilderness areas that are outside the monument. And there have been proposals to increase the monument size, and the green line here, for example, is one such proposal on the west side of the monument. And this brown line is a proposal to increase the area to the east. And these proposals come up all the time and they change. But keep in mind, I think this is extremely important, not necessarily to this class per se, but in life. But what you see is not always what you get, meaning in this particular case, if you were to go to this region, which I've done, maybe thousands of times, you would see this huge, awesome, expansive wilderness area. And you might think as you drive in, oh, this is the San Gabriel Mountains National Monument or whatnot, and it's protected, this whole area. But if you look at this map, you can see that there are wilderness areas that really aren't in the monument. They're just not developed yet. And so you get sort of this illusion that the whole area is protected, but it's really not that way. But at any rate, these types of maps allow anyone, including scientists or just the general public or whoever's interested, to see sort of current and proposed scenarios all on one map. Okay, so GIS allows users to supply an infinite amount of data. Now, infinite's a strong word, so let's say instead a very, very large amount of data can be put into GIS. Infinite, I don't know if the world can handle infinite, but anyway, GIS allows users to supply a huge amount of data into the system, and then it allows users to add different kinds of geospatial data to create these different layers. And it is a key to gap analysis and reserve design in general, because you can see sort of these different layers and break them apart as to what is happening with different data sets. So, for example, here's an example of some of those layers. and what you can do in GIS. So at the top map here is a map of the vegetation types for a particular area. And the next map is a map of animal species and distributions and population sizes. And in this particular case, the example is for 3 different endangered species. The next layer of the map shows the locations and boundaries of a particular preserve. So then what you can do is sort of combine these layers and to produce one map, which is super cool, right? The other thing I should point out is quite often in these types of large-scale studies with many different organisms and things of that sort, you often have many different scientists that are sort of independently working on various projects that may or may not really know what other people are doing in that area. What GIS allows you to do is sort of put all that together, because quite often the people studying plant vegetation types are quite often very different scientists than the people studying, say, some rabbit population. And the people studying some endangered butterfly are a different set of people as well. So quite often these are different scientists or groups of people, and GIS sort of allows you to put all that together. So in this case, you can see some of our endangered species lie within the preserve, but some of them lie outside the preserve, and specifically our rabbits in this case. If this is an endangered rabbit, you can see that about half the population of the rabbit in this case is outside our current preserve. And the butterflies, for whatever reason, well, none of them are in the current reserve. And this is also very helpful at making scientifically sound decisions, because we can sort of visualize the gaps, the difference between what is really protected and what is not, and allows us to better focus our efforts, for example, at acquiring more land, maybe right here in this region, if your goal is to, for example, save this endangered butterfly. And it allows us to make better, more educated decisions in our efforts to conserve more or particular species or a habitat of interest. Now, while GIS is a very powerful tool for conservation biology, the truth is GIS goes way beyond that. GIS can be used for all kinds of interesting things. It can be used to predict pathways that fires might travel based on weather patterns and changes. It could be used to analyze the proximity of healthy food, for example, say farmers markets in relation to low and middle and upper income neighborhoods, which is sometimes mentioned in health and social justice arguments, the lack or availability of nutritious food, or the spread of a disease such as COVID-19, basically an endless number of applications and all sorts of fields other than and addition to, if you will, conservation biology. And really cool is you can learn all of this at Mount SAC, right at Mount SAC. So it's a really cool program. You can learn GIS right here at Mount San Antonio College, because we have our own GIS program, and you can take courses in it. I believe we have a certificate in it. I've taken a couple introductory seminars, and I'd love to take the whole series for the certificate. Haven't quite got around to that yet, but maybe one day in the future. But anyway, check it out, because you can learn the whole thing right at Mount San Antonio College. Okay, hope everyone's having a good day, and I will talk with you all later.